State Department officials tell Fox News Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is still considering what to do about the apparent sonic attacks on workers at the American Embassy in Havana. Cuba continues to deny involvement. All of this comes as some of the president's supporters are wondering whatever happened to his promise to end the Obama-era deals with the communist nation. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen looks for answers tonight.
Effective immediately, I am canceling the last administration's completely one-sided deal with Cuba.
Yet more than 100 days have passed since President Trump thrilled little Havana with his vow to restore the sanctions and embargo on Cuba.
You watch what's going to happen.
And nothing has happened. That's because the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, or OFAC, the small overburdened unit that manages sanctions, has not produced the fine print for Mr. Trump's policy shift to be enacted. The announced changes do not take effect until OFAC issues new regulations. OFAC cautioned on July 25th, adding OFAC expects to issue its regulatory amendments in the coming months. Contacted by Fox News this week, a Treasury spokesman told us, "We don't have a specific date yet for when those revised regulations will be publicly released. We still anticipate," Deputy Assistant Secretary Seth Unger said, "it will be in the coming months."
Yeah, it has not taken effect. That's correct.
Sita Ramachandran, a New York lawyer who specializes in sanctions enforcement law, notes that OFAC's limited resources are no match for a sharp increase in sanctions activity.
New U.S. sanctions bill against Russia, North Korea, and Iran.
President Trump is imposing new financial sanctions against Venezuela.
For Venezuela, President Trump issued an executive order. But in rolling back Cuba policy, Mr. Trump gave a speech.
We will enforce the ban on tourism.
And issued this national security memorandum to cabinet officers and executive branch agencies, which instructed Treasury and other departments to begin drafting new regulations within 30 days. That happened, but since then, little else has.
Trump could have actually issued an executive order that immediately changed the sanctions program. For example, a couple weeks ago, there was an executive order on Venezuelan sanctions that did not require any implementing regulations by OFAC, but that's not what happened here.
Minutes ago, a White House spokesman told me President Trump's Cuba memorandum was crafted to mirror the documents that President Obama had issued, loosening the policy, that federal officials always expected a 6 to 9 month process, and that while the changes are not yet law to the outside world, the memorandum carried the force of law, quote, within the executive branch. Brett.
You can read a detailed write-up of this story on foxnews.com. James, thanks.